I think actually you and I probably started about the same time. It was 5 years ago we started Empowering Lives, and I was in the restaurant industry at that point. But I have a son with Down syndrome, and my wife and I were looking at the world and thought it's not as inclusive as it should be.
Mm.
Our vision of that people can, with any ability, and really, it's kind of branched beyond abilities now to any kind of difference, should have the same right that the rest of us have and access to, where they want to live, where they want to work, where they want to recreate. And some people, the people we support, need a little support and help to do that. So as we formed it, I like sports. I like football. I like college football. And so you look at coaching, and coaches coach players for improved performance. They don't play the game for them. They help them to be better so they're more successful. And unfortunately, the industry that we've created to take care of people wasn't doing that. They were doing for people, not with people. And so we kind of came in with that difference. But so we started that 5 years ago, and we support people through the Office of Developmental Program to live on their own, to work on their own, to recreate on their own. So we cover all different bases. And right now, that it's an interesting community in this time period, because a lot of the folks we work with, their life is structured upon routine and social engagement. We don't have either one of those right now.
Mm-hmm.
At least I don't. Do you?
I'm trying to keep a good routine, and the social engagements over the internet. But I mean, at least there's something.
Yeah.
But I think it's really important because, right, if you have a disability, usually life is a little more difficult. You have to have a routine to keep things on track. So right now, it's probably really difficult for anybody with a disability with everything that's happening right now in the world. So what are people with disabilities struggling the most with right now? Where are the major issues?
Well, I think the industry in general, most of the support providers, we've been focusing on health and wellness. So how do we keep those connections? How do we keep that routine? And then how do we make sure people, we can't go to a gym, so how do we keep fit? How do we keep healthy with eating? So we've done a lot of outdoor activities. We've done a lot of hiking. We've done rock collecting. We've done a lot of things outside. We're not in groups anymore. So you got that social thing. So a lot of providers, us included, have gone to a lot of technology. We're using Zoom formats and Facebook Live and Google Hangout. And I know some providers have provided everyone they support with a tablet. So now they can do telemeetings. They could do telemedicine. They can do shopping online, which is something we're getting into now, because the people we support as well, a lot of them are higher risk. A lot of them have respiratory issues or have heart issues, or one of the 7 or 8 things they say puts you more at risk for this COVID virus. A lot of people we support have that. So they really shouldn't be going into a store even with a mask. And so we've been doing shopping for them, or doing the cart pickup stuff or curbside. And a lot of people like to go out to eat a lot. So now we're doing drive-throughs and going on picnics and things like that.
Very cool. So I don't know if you know these exact numbers, but as far as Empowering Lives go and people with disabilities in our area, what percentage are actually working with you right now? And if they're not aware of what you do, how can they get involved with what Empowering Lives does?
So we'll start with the bigger picture. So in Blair County, which is the county we work the most in, and probably the county with the best administrative entity and oversight of the 7 or 8 counties you mentioned, although we work in several of those. But here, there's a good provider network. Even here, the county providers, we talk weekly on a call to make sure that, share resources, talk about ideas, make sure we're all doing the same thing. There's about 12 to 1,300 people in Blair County who receive waiver services through the Office of Developmental Program, which means they have a set amount of budget that provides for people like us to help them either live on their own, to get out and be able to connect in their community and engage, to have employment. You've seen people out with a job coach and all those different things. So there's about 12 to 1,300 people in Blair County that have that. There's probably another 1,000 to 1,200 that have that need that are on a wait list. So Pennsylvania has a huge wait list, and it's pretty much everywhere across the country, because there's just much more need than there are funds available to help people. So we're all trying to find a better way to do that. Most providers, I know we have, out of the 20 or so people we support, there's 4 people that have either chosen to shelter in place with their family and not receive services, but most everybody else has. I don't know if you're aware, but there's day programs that people go to, people with and without disabilities. I mean, all the child cares are closed too. And so these people who now were used to going on a routine every day to this day program to see their friends or a daycare, they don't go anymore. And
Mhm.
some families still need to work. So we've picked up a couple of people to do a community engagement kind of program with them every day from 9 to 4, where we go out, we volunteer. We've been working with the Salvation Army and with the American Rescue Workers on food distribution. We've been helping some other people around the community in ways we can do that are safe. We've been gathering rocks and painting them and putting them out with sayings to encourage people, and then doing fitness, making sure we get lunch together. The people who live on their own, we help them to clean their house and just educate people about hand washing and wearing facial masks and such.
Very cool, man. It's incredible. It's really awesome that what you're doing and how you're helping people in our area. Very admirable. I think that if people want to find out more, right? 'Cause I would like somebody watching this who doesn't know about Empowering Lives to get in contact with you. What is your bandwidth for as many people as you can help? Are you trying to like cast a wide net or make sure it's more tight knit? What's your goal there? Are you guys always accepting more people to come in that you can serve?
We do. I mean, right now we're gearing up because, like I said, these day programs, they're not going to open for a while, just like schools aren't going to open for a while. So what do we do to create this new normal? And so we're looking at having 2 people with 1 coach and going out and spending 3 hours of their day, maybe doing some volunteer work in the community, have a lunch, and then spend the afternoon working on skills, whether it's budgeting, fitness, cooking, different things. And we're looking at building some, some kind of leagues together that'll be 10 or 12 people, disc frisbee. We're looking at a baseball, kind of like a baseball league, but with 10 players on a team, 6 players on the field, socially distanced, of course, with some varied rules that'll kind of work for all abilities. Like everybody bats every inning. And then for the scoring, we'll have first, every base is a point. So you get a home run, you get 4 points. You get a single, you get 1 point. So we'll keep track that way. And that way we can play baseball if people like to play baseball, but keep it safe. And that'll be open to anybody. So our website's empoweringlivesfound.org, and all that stuff will be up there. I hope probably by the end of the month or the middle of the month. We'd like to start in June. So we only have room for like 80 players because we can only have so many players on a team, right? So we're going to have that, and then doing the Frisbee golf, which you can do. You could go to the Hollidaysburg High School or Valley View or Highland Park or Canoe Creek and do disc Frisbee, and that's great, and it's socially distant.
Mm-hmm.
So
you said Empowering Lives Found, like foundation.org.
Yeah.
Okay, if they want to go check that.
It needs to be redone. I've been working on it. It's an awful website, so we'll work on getting it updated.
Well, I think that it doesn't matter if it's awful or not. It matters people can go there, find what you do, and get in contact with you. That's the important part. So we're not concerned about the quality of the site.
I am.
Anybody, yeah. It's your thing, of course you are. So as far as like the stimulus benefits that are going around right now, obviously a lot of people have gotten their stimulus check in the mail. What about stimulus benefits for SSI?
So people in SSI, a lot of those benefits are going out this week. That's one of the things we've heard from the government. They're coming out this week. So within the next 2 weeks, they should go out. And anybody who receives Social Security disability or Social Security should get a stimulus check, regardless of whether you filed taxes or what happened with that. It'll go right to wherever you get your regular Social Security benefit. And those should be going out, coming out in the next couple of weeks.
Awesome. And as far as the Heroes Fund go, Heroes Fund, which I've been hearing about with the COVID-4 bill, is that right?
Yep. Yeah, COVID-4. So Senator Casey, we work a lot with Senator Casey. We work a lot with the state government too, but he's put forth a bill as part of COVID-4 that would be a Heroes Fund. And what that would do would be enhanced payments for anybody who is a frontline medical worker, obviously EMS, healthcare, direct support workers like what our staff does, which a lot of agencies have already added an extra enhanced pay on to this time period. We're one of those. I know several agencies have done that and are currently hiring staff as well. But this would also go for grocery workers, logistics, trucking. Anybody who's essential right now and has to work, they're trying to put where you could get up to $13,000 between now and the end of the year if it gets fully funded, that you could have as enhanced pay for working during this time period. So I don't know if it'll all pass. It's going to come out. Senate goes back on the 4th, so next week they're going to introduce the bill. They're still writing the language and whether it gets passed or not. But that's something, if anybody can send a letter of support to, Congressman Joyce or Toomey or Schuster and say, hey, look, I support a Heroes Fund to give extra pay enhancement to these people that are allowing me to shelter at home or allowing me to receive support or healthcare or to get groceries. I think it's a good thing to do.
Do you have anything about that on your website, or are you putting things up about that?
We had a meeting with Senator Casey this morning, and they just kind of gave some more details. When it comes out next week, we'll probably put something up.
Okay.
But right now, we don't have anything up about it because it's just all theory and talk at this point. So.
And as far as talking to you today, I want to give you this platform to, if there's anything else that you wanted to include, if you anything else that you want to throw out there as a message to the people that you work with or the people that you don't work with, but you'd like to and most likely need your help, what would you say to them? And anything else that you wanted to put in here that you feel like would be a benefit to people watching this?
I guess the only thing I would throw in there, and it's more of our vision statement, is a community where everybody gets to choose where they live, how they work, and they get the support that they need. So if I live next door to a young man with Down syndrome, I'll help him out. And maybe he needs help taking his trash out once a week. Everybody has different needs and supports. You and I have different needs and supports on how we can be successful. And somebody with a disability is no different. And unfortunately, I think our society, when you and I grew up, the people we work with were in a special ed classroom in the back of the building and we didn't see them. Right. And so now they're integrated in the classrooms, which is amazing. And school has done a really good job of that. Our society hasn't caught up with that yet. We still think of, oh, well, Nick has Down syndrome, so he can work at the grocery store bagging groceries. He can work, cleaning tables at the McDonald's. He can, work in the flower store. But, what if Nick wants to work at the radio station? What if Nick wants to work in an office? And that's a lot of the volunteer stuff we're looking for. We're doing that. So I guess one thing I would say to your audience, because I know a lot of business people listen, is if we look at this new normal, right? Schools, daycares, day programs will be different from here on out. So we're trying to develop where we can get 2 people with 1 coach doing those activities. But part of that, we would like to be a paid employment piece or volunteering. So if you have people that have opportunities where they need volunteers to, and we have a young lady who's worked at the United Way for 2 years doing their database. We worked with Arts Altoona on their database. We're doing some work with the VA hospital, with their office. So database keyboarding are things we have people that can do. We're looking for opportunities maybe to come if you have a restaurant, you need somebody to come and help put your truck away or somebody to make cakes once a week or something we could do skill develop. Let us come and do that. The workers we work with disabilities are more reliable. They don't call off as much. They do it the exact way you tell them every time. So if you say there's a red dot here and it goes in this order, it'll happen every time. But we might not be as fast. Sometimes we just need a little more time to get the work done. So if somebody has those opportunities, I would really like to talk about that because that's something we're in need of right now. Our employers who we can come in once a week or once a day and do a job or a task for them. And the way that would benefit the employer is not just helping the community, but they would basically pay us to bring these workers in, and then we'll pay the workers. So it's going to be less cost for them, and they'll have somebody who's going to be there reliable, is going to be there to do the job every day. So if somebody has that kind of opportunity, I would love that. And same thing with if you have a group needs volunteers, we work with Mending Hearts, the rescue workers, the Salvation Army, the United Way, the VA hospital, some great organizations. And they kind of say, look, we need you to do this, and we just go and take care of it for them. So the last 2 things is that just if somebody is in need of help, reach out to us. We are helping people with facial coverings, with sanitizer, with food connections, with resources. So if somebody has a need, look on our website. All my contacts info's there. Look me up on Facebook and send me a message, and we'll help you out. The rescue workers, they're always available for anybody in Blair County right now who has access for food. You just need to bring an ID, and they'll help you with some ingredients to make food for your family. The Salvation Army is hooked up with FEMA, and they're handing out ready-to-eat meals on Thursdays from 11 to 2. So they can help you with that. We partner with both of them, but those are ready-to-eat meals. Just take them home and cook them for your family. So if you have a need, reach out to one of us. And we've helped people with baby wipes, with diapers, with sanitizer, with facial coverings, with milk, with food. So we can help find those connections if somebody needs something.
Amazing, man. I love it. And that's why when I get you on here, I know there's so many different things that you guys cover. There's so much that you do, so it's hard to like encapsulate it in one conversation. But I want to get that message out that you cover so many different bases. Hopefully, somebody watching this can either help out or get the help that they need. I think that's amazing. So I want to thank you for doing what you do. And once again, that is empoweringlivesfound.org if they want more information. And anything else before we go?
No, they can reach out through Facebook or Instagram or any of those social media platforms. We tried Google Hangout or whatever it was, or Google, what was that one? Google Plus? Nobody, that's not even around anymore.
Didn't last very long now. I think COVID's going to get rid of that one if it's not gone yet.
Probably true.
Cool. All right. Thanks, John.
Well, thank you. I love what you guys are doing. I think the First Frontier it's amazing how well this group works together and really helps each other out. So we're proud to be a part of that.
That's the goal, man. It's just to make sure that we're all spreading positivity and uplifting, helpful news throughout our area. And the stuff that doesn't get covered enough is really the goal. The good stuff that doesn't get covered enough. So thanks for being a part of it.
Sure. Thank you.